Hey guys, Sublord here, back in with another action figure review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Cliffjumper, not to be confused with Clifford the Big Red Dog. That said, this is of course how Cliffjumper appeared in the Transformers Prime universe, and can you smell that? Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? Because he voiced this character, and then he died. That said, this of course brought to us by the fine folks over at Hasbro, despite the fact that this figure is the topic of some controversy amidst the Transformers community, because originally it was a box set exclusive. Never got that. Heck, my good buddy Evil Villain never got that. Otherwise, I might already had this figure, but I am totally okay with box set exclusives being reissued, because not for nothing, and while it may not be Transformers, it's a good example that I can use here, because I know a lot of people still want the character. Shauna the She-Devil from the Savage Land 3-pack, would be nice to be able to pick her up and not drop like 2-3 bills on it, because she comes with Sauron and Savage Land Road. So fingers crossed they do that. Same company, hope they would. But not for nothing, Cliffjumper isn't the only figure from the very same box set to be reissued. I believe Fangry was in the same box set he was in, and he's up for pre-order now. I'm on the fence about picking him up because he is a reuse of Mindwipe, and Mindwipe's a pretty cool figure. The Age of the Primes Mindwipe, not Age of the Primes, Power of the Primes Mindwipe, not another Mindwipe that maybe has come out since then. But at any rate, before I get too far ahead of ourselves, why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at all Cliffjumper has to offer in terms of accessories. He's got a bunch of crap. He's got this little box piece, which you can snap this little, basically looks like a hose. You could snap this on top and basically get his triple barrel gun thing that would pop out of his hand in the Prime series. And to attach that to his hand, all you gotta do is kind of slip it over like that. And it stays on there, it's not falling off, but I don't know, could have been better. Would have been nice if we got 2 of these, but oh well. On top of that, you do get these little claw pieces. So you can pop one in there. Then pop the other one in here. I'm not sure if these are the same color as the original release, but you know, now you can have that claw, and he can pinch Viacons right in their titties with that. That's fun. And then last but not least, we got this thing. What the significance of this is, I don't know. I guess you could put it up here instead of this, but that just seems pointless to me. You really don't need this other piece. You could just get along fine with this, or you know, either or, because this kind of squared off shape does match this a little better. But at any rate, there's his weapon, Titty Twister of Doom. Move that to the side. A closer look at Cliffjumper. A very nice release. He looks good. I don't care for these things on the back. I wish these either folded under his armpits, and I'll tell you why in a minute, or just kind of rotated down, because they do kind of get in the freaking way. Not for nothing, you might even be able to take them off. So if you don't like them, I think they are just on friction hinges. But the reason I said I wish they could integrate into the torso a little better is because this arm on mine doesn't lock up, per se. It's not loose. It does kind of, it softly snaps into place. It's fine. It's nothing to lose sleep over, but this side straight up like clicks in like quite a bit more. It takes a bit of elbow grease to get it down. So, you know, I wish it was as tight as the other side, but I'm guessing mold degradation, something like that. At least he's not falling apart like that Springer we looked at the other day. Back when I was still sick. Anyone remember when I was sick? It freaking sucked. That's why I sounded like I had a clothespin on my nose during this past week's reviews. That's when I recorded them, because the show must go on, whether I feel like dog do or not. But as far as articulation goes, his head is on a ball joint. Can look up and down a little bit. Can even tilt, so that's nice. Shoulders can kick out. Again, you could almost wrap these around the arm here, but they do hit up against something, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, see, you can't fold it up all the way. You're gonna be pushing stuff, so that sucks. But you can rotate it and get it caught on that if you want. Elbows a bend, rotation there. Nothing in the wrist, but he is a deluxe, so you can give him a pass there. He's a deluxe from like several years ago too. He does have a waist twist. That's nice. He's got hips now, kick forward and back, out, back down, thigh cut, single knee. But it gives you like way past a little more than 90, I think. And then he does have ankle rocker, which goes out. It goes in, but not very far. So I don't know if I'm just stupid and have this mistransform, but either way, I'm not impressed with his feetums. I wish that was reversed, and I wish the little doodads on the back like wrapped around the torso and kind of filled him out, because he is kind of hollow. But not really in a bad way. It's just they could have filled that out. That's all I'm saying. But at the end of the day, it's still a decent figure. He's not bad. Compared to some of the other Prime offerings, like Bulkhead, who we did just take a look at the repaint yesterday, the was it Wreck and Rule version. I would say he's better than that. I would say he's better than RC. I don't know if he's better than Skyquake and that's his name, Skyquake, the big green jet dude, and Dreadwing. But I would say he's at least on the same playing field as those. Not perfect, but a step in the right direction. And we will be taking a look at Smokescreen tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. And I will say he's even more of a step in the right direction. I think he might be the best of these Prime Universe characters we've gotten thus far. That said, before we wrap this up, why don't we bring in our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandiboleth, and the infamous Living Spawn, who, as usual, towers over everyone. Before I forget to mention it, because I've been meaning to say it this whole review, but it's been slipping my mind, wouldn't it be cool if we got a Terracon variant of this guy, like we did during the first edition days? Is that it? The first edition Transformers Prime Toys had that? I think that'd be pretty cool. I'd definitely check it out for Halloweeny season if it was a thing. But let me know in the comments what you think of that. But with that being said, I think it is time that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and while I'm going to stand by my previous statement in saying that good old Cliffjumper here is a step up from some of the previous Prime Universe offerings from the past few years, Bulkhead and RC most notably. Not sure about Skyquake and or Dreadwing, though. Those were pretty solid in their own right. He still has his faults. For one thing, I don't know why the ankle rocker is reversed. It goes further out than it does in, which makes him a little tricky to pose. Then I do wish the back wings were able to integrate better into the torso, whether it's to help hold the armature up for the shoulders or just fold out of the way so you could get better range out of the arms. Either way, a solid entry. I think the Prime Universe has definitely made some improvements. Granted, it didn't come out as strong as the animated universe, but we're getting there, folks. We are getting there. So, with that being said, before we wrap this sucker up, why don't we get good old Cliffjumper here transformed and take a closer look at his vehicle mode. And as promised, here we have good old Cliffjumper in his muscle car mode. What kind of muscle car is it exactly? I don't know, that's a question for the old man, but it is a pretty cool looking hot rod with some bull horns on the front. Surprised those aren't gummy, but of course he's got all his weapons, stored along the side and the back of him. So it's nice to see that he's got weapon storage, but taking all that stuff off, the car looks a lot better. I will say these pieces, I wish these snapped in more. But you can see the little exhaust pipes there. And of course, in true Transformer fashion, he can roll. Whee! Whee! And that's all fine and dandy. But very nice little alt mode. Not 100% accurate to Prime, but close enough, I will say. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, catch you guys later.